Welcome to another episode of Sludge Underground podcast. My name is Nasipi Zwane and I am here with a really awesome guest today. But before we get started, I'd like to just remind you that we have our brand new merch collection up right now that you can find in the link in the description. And it's basically 100% cotton, one-of-a-kind, tie-dyed t-shirts, and there's a limited number of them. And basically by buying, you support the show and help us keep pushing forward. Another way that you can support the show is obviously by leaving us a review on Apple Podcasts if you enjoy any of these episodes, and obviously a rating on Spotify as well. Now today I am here with one of the illest in the game, she's incredible on the mic. She's one of the best lyricists we have in the country, and I honestly feel like she's underrated. I'm talking about VenusRaps, who was telling me that she had load shedding actually. So has that actually had an impact of some kind on you as an artist?
Oh my days. Oh my days. Actually, it's not even a problem like in terms of recording because I don't record like all the time, right? But in terms of like, when you're an artist, you only get in that moment where you create on certain days or during certain hours. So I'll be within, dog, like I'll be writing, my phone is on, I'm like, yeah, let's get it. Then my phone dies, I'm trying to charge, I'm like, wait. Nah, it's a mess.
Hey, it's a major mess. I look at how, the times that it's affected me. Sometimes you'll be ready to do an interview and then next thing, load shedding. And then, we have to make alternative arrangements and such. It sort of reminds me of, it sort of reminds me of lockdown level 5. How was that actually for you? Because I'd imagine it was bittersweet because, things were closed down, for artists and such. But I'd imagine that, your recording time may have increased. How did you handle lockdown level 5?
I was having the time of my life. I have an issue with like, I don't know, man. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but there's phases in my life where I don't want to be an artist. I don't want to be a rapper. I just want to exist as like Vanessa, not even Venus, So lockdown was the perfect time for me to do that. But it's crazy because I had quit music, and then just before lockdown hit, I went back and I did a performance, and I was like, yeah, I really love this thing, man. Like, I want to do it again. Let's go. And then lockdown hit, and I was like, yeah, kind of fun just being like this. Let's watch How to Get Away with Murder or something. I was not interested in anything that had to do with like existing at my highest self. Like, I just wanted to stay alive and be good by the end of the pandemic,
Have you had any performances since regulations have been loosened a bit, like at all?
I don't perform a lot, hey? Like, I feel like I'm having my Aries era where I don't do a lot of performances. I'll perform once in a while, maybe open, like, I don't know, man, people don't book me. Maybe they're not aware of me because I've stopped telling myself like, nah, these niggas hate me. I'm just thinking, dog, it just means you have to grind harder. That's it, But I do like an aspect of me not performing much because it kind of gives my brand, if I can put it like that way. It gives my brand kind of an exclusivity, right? So if you've seen me perform, you know what's up, right? But if you haven't, you're like, I don't know that high, and I'm probably not missing out on much, but you are. So I like it that way. But I do want to perform a lot more because, when you don't perform a lot, you always get that, the nerves, like, and I get the worst nerves because anxiety, kesana. So I just want to get used to I want to practice, get used to kind of exercising that muscle. So yeah.
When you speak of anxiety, this is something that is right up my alley because, last year I got diagnosed, and, what was happening was there was a band here in Durban that was in need of another drummer. They approached me like, dude, we need a drummer. I'm like, let's go.
Yeah.
And obviously, in hindsight, it must have been a case of, biting on a little more than I could chew at the time. And next thing, my heart started palpitating after practices, and it was just, when I rushed to the hospital, the doctor's like, dude, you've got nothing, it's just a panic attack, and you're
just
anxiety.
Having a panic attack.
So yeah. So, they prescribed medication and such, but long story short, I relate to what you're talking about. So, what has your experience been like, with anxiety, and how do you sort of deal with it when it sort of happens?
I usually get The panic attacks usually happen before the performance because the set you have to figure that out. Your outfits, your makeup, especially as a woman, your makeup. So all of that you have to figure out yourself. And when you have a team, sometimes you delegate. I am very particular about things and I like to be kept in the loop. Now, when I've delegated and I've asked to be kept in the loop and then something goes wrong and no one feels it's necessary to let me know, I can't do it. So more often than not, you'll find that I'm at a show with like glasses on or my eyes are puffy because when I get into like that mode where I'm like panicking, I'm Cancer, I'll cry about anything, okay? So I handle it, man, I handle.
Now, on the aspect of actually doing things yourself, as an
Yeah.
independent artist who's been doing this for a very long time, is this by choice? Or would you say that there actually is a group of people that you may have met along the way that could be, in your team and help out? It's just that you opt not to utilize their services?
So I think I have a really bad experience with quite a number of things. I might be the problem. I'm willing to admit that. So initially I was signed when I first started doing music on like a larger scale than I was initially. So that didn't work out for some reason because niggas are dickheads. But and then after that I was independent, but actually no, I met my previous manager when I was trying to get out of the deal. So I said to him, yo, listen, I've got this deal that I'm in and I need to get out. And he was like, fine, I'll talk to some people. And then obviously I was in the process of doing that. And they were both trying to like figure out how to get me out of this thing. And I had a fallout with the guys at the recording, at the label. And because one thing about me when I'm pissed off. So I told him shit. And then the next morning we had a conversation. Actually, no, the reason why we had a fallout is because my manager at the label he was doing some other stuff with like his church or whatever. So I was out in the cold, you know what I'm saying? Like I've got the show booked on this night. I have to go out and do this thing. No one's telling me anything. I'm stranded somewhere. Where was I? I think I was in Hillbrow or something.
Sheesh.
And I needed an Uber to the show. Niggas are telling me, no, the show is dead. Don't come. I'm like, dog, I'm already here. And at the time I was living with my parents still. So I had basically taken the night. My stepdad is like whining. My mom's trying to calm him down. I've dragged my best friend because she's a DJ. Well, she was a DJ at the time. And I was like, you're gonna DJ for me. You're gonna DJ my set for me. So let's go. So I've kind of put all these things together, and obviously, with the expectation of Fuguti, because now I'm signed, I don't have to go through as many problems as I used to when I was independent. So I think that kind of just like also the turmoil of everything that I was going through at the time, just like I lost it, told them shit. Next morning, my manager is finally back. I tell them, yo, you know what? I'm done. They're like, okay, we're done too. I get a release letter, sign it, send it through to them. Suddenly I'm independent. I'm confused. Then I had the one guy, I told him, yo, listen, this is what I want for my brand over the next coming years. And I had that team, and then he found me a producer. And I think that was my team for like the past couple of years. And my issue then became that nothing was getting done. Niggas weren't getting me shows. Niggas weren't getting me, because also I can only do so much as the artist. So every single time we'd be at a show, it's because I booked the show. Every time we'd be talking to a brand, it's because they approached me. So what was the point of me then having this whole team where we're just making a lot of music, dropping music, blah, 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 blah. But niggas aren't working to make sure that whatever I'm working on gets to be on in the spaces it's supposed to be on. I dropped a whole project in September last year. And the promo that happened only happened because I had spoken to Zagwe and because he had asked me to come down to Durban for Europe Effects. So I asked him, yo, listen, dog, I'm dropping a project. Please just like talk to some radio stations for me. I just want to come through and like have a conversation, because I don't have many contacts, so I can't just like, So that's literally all that happened around the project. After that, nothing.
Yo.
And so the reason that I'm saying I keep having bad experiences with like a team is because of that. Like niggas have like the interest, right? They have the interest to, I want to work with you. I want to be in your team. I want to. But when it comes time for the work to be done, I don't think anyone is interested in actually doing the work. It's just about, oh, I'm VenusRaps manager, But what are you doing? What's your role? What is it that you can do for me that I can't do for myself? So I think that's the kind of the challenge that I'm having right now. So I just switched. Well, I didn't necessarily switch management. Um, I don't even want to call it a demotion, but so what I've done, right, is that my previous manager, I know his strengths now. We've been together for like 4 years, right? So he's been managing me for about 4 years. So I know his strengths now and I know his weaknesses and I know how busy he is. I know like his priorities. So I said to him, yo, listen, because obviously he knows my, what do you call it, my vision, right? So I told him, listen, you will then move to a different position. Not necessarily that you're out or whatever, because this has been like a dude that's been like my dog for years, you know?
Yeah.
Not even like, it's not that deep, but like he's my friend, you know?
Yeah.
And he's come through for me in so many ways that it can't be a thing where I'm realizing he's incompetent to do this job and then go, yeah, you're out, bye, right? So I figured out a way to kind of put him in a position where his strengths work for the both of us and his weaknesses don't have to come into play because he doesn't have to kind of do everything anymore, you know? So then I found a new manager. I'm still testing him out. I think the whole thing about management is that as an artist, you also have to still be hands-on. And that's an aspect of being an artist that I've never been interested in, like the part where I have to be involved, heavily involved with every other thing except the music. So I'm finally getting to a point where I'm like, yo, dog, if I need this thing done right, I'm going to have to get my hands dirty. I can't be on the bench and go, yeah, you niggas just go and do whatever you guys want to do, you know? So at the end of the day, now I'm sitting at a point where I'm about to hold my own shit. Like nobody needs to, you know, be trying to put their hand in something too much. I'll ask for help if I need it, but other than that, I'm good. So yeah, that's where I'm at right now.
What else would you say this experience has taught you, besides getting your hands dirty? Because I, for one, who has, experienced similar or has been in similar situations, above and beyond just sort of doing it myself, it has taught me to sort of not have this expectation or carry these expectations that, people owe me something or need to do something for me.
Yeah.
I feel like the less expectations there are, the less disappointments, there'll be. I was just fortunate enough to bump into like-minded people, who are just as keen and were able to then contribute to what we're doing currently. So what above and beyond, getting your own hands dirty, would you say these experiences have sort of taught you?
So there's a thing my mom has been saying to me for years, right?
Yeah.
She always tells me, you can do this without any of the people around you. But they can't do the same thing y'all are doing without you, right?
Okay.
It changes when I move. So I think what it's taught me over the years from just like producers, beat makers, whatever it is, it's definitely taught me that I'm one of a kind, number one, and not in like a suck my dick type of way, but like I don't think there's anyone who's doing what I do in the way that I do it. Even if they sound like me, they look like me, they wear a do-rag sometimes, whatever it is, But no one's doing what I do the way I do it. And that's what makes me special. No one is me. So I think what it's definitely taught me is that if I can't trust myself to do this alone, then how am I going to trust anyone to do it with me? Because I don't know what it should look like, right?
Yeah.
And if I have never seen what that vision looks like, whatever they do will look wrong to me, will sound wrong, will feel wrong, right?
Yeah.
And so I'll always be nitpicking. So what it's taught me is that I need to have the vision. I need to implement the vision. I need to know how it's done. I need to know that I've gotten myself a show. I need to know that I've done the stuff that I expect you guys to do for me. So I know it's not impossible, right?
Yeah.
So essentially, I'm just saying what this whole experience of just like having a team and being disappointed and blah, 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 what it's taught me is that I need to be more hands-on. I need to be more vigilant as well, because people will come onto your team and go, yeah, I want to creative direct you. I want to style you. You've never seen a fucking garment at all for years. They'll tell you, I want to do your marketing. You've never seen the marketed thing in your life, right? But you're going to go ahead and go, yeah, because I have a team. And I feel like that's a mistake I've been making for years. I've been thinking a team makes me, but I make the team. You know what I'm saying? If I don't exist, no one can be VenusRaps' manager. No one can be VenusRaps' producer. No one can be VenusRaps even. So it all comes down to me. And that's what this whole experience has been teaching me, that it's me first. I'm literally the whole equation. And then everything else, everyone else is just like plus signs and equal signs in order for it to kind of be cohesive. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I definitely do. That part about the stylist that has never seen a garment before just killed the hell out of me. But I totally see it, and I think it's crazy that there are people out there that take chances like that.
They do. You know, also what makes me laugh, right? Is that niggas think I can't tell my being forged. This is my 13th year being a rapper, being like I've been upcoming for 13 whole years, dog, since I was 12. And you're gonna come to me and think I can't tell my forge. Come on, dog.
And you're still young.
Come on, I'm young, I'm 25. Yeah, well, I'm turning 25. By the way, my birthday is on the 23rd, so I'm gonna be talking about my birthday.
Would you like a gift?
Please, I'd love that. I love presents.
We've got some merch that we recently released, so I don't know if you have anything left over, then I might just give you one.
I'd love that.
All right, great. So now, looking at the fact that you've been doing this, you know, you said it yourself, you've been an upcoming artist for about 13 years now, and that you've been doing this since you were 12 years old. Do you not feel that that is very criminal? Do you not feel like, you know, the industry is sleeping on you?
I'm not gonna lie, there is an element of like sleeping on me that's there, right? But what I've noticed with in terms of the South African industry, hip hop to be precise, they don't hop on a train that's just stopped there, parked there, you know? They don't hop on that. What they like is, you know, when the bandwagon is moving and everyone's hopping on and everyone's like, yo, have you heard? For an example, Tyson, right?
Yeah.
Tyson just dropped. Tyson's fire. Tyson's been fire, right? But only now are niggas co-signing Tyson. Why? Because everyone who has been watching Tyson for years, because I'll be very honest.
Yeah.
These niggas know. They know. Right? That's why you have people, you know, hit me up or watch my status or whatever it is, and then go, oh, hey, listen, so I need a verse. I was trying to do like some work with a female, and I hate being called a female, but it is what it is. I am a woman. Just call me a woman rather, please. But anyway, I digress. So you have people hit me up, want to do a song, right?
Right.
Either I'll do the song and they'll realize I murked them, not drop it, or they'll watch, they'll see me somewhere, and so I'll come to you and I'll say, yo, listen, I want to work. Let's do it. Let's try it, you know?
Yeah.
Or even I'll just tell you, yo, listen, I like you. I like your work. And that is what it is. And then I'll just introduce myself, whatever it is. I'm great at networking. So like, it'll be a thing where I'll talk to a person, they'll pretend they're so interested in like hopping on a song or like doing some work with me or whatever it is, and then ghost. I've had a couple of people do that. And I think what I've just attributed it to is it's not necessarily a form of sleeping on me. They are aware that someone like me or with my likeness exists because this green hair is very loud, and so am I. However, I need to work. You know what I'm saying? Because even if I were like mad successful right now and I was seeing this rapper who's really good, really talented, right? Of course I'd want to help. Of course I'd want to like, you know, support them, co-sign them, whatever it is. But I'd need to see them get to the point where they're reaching. Like it just takes my co-sign for them to hold the pinnacle, you know? But I think for me, I know now that because for years, I've cried about it, I've prayed about it, I've been depressed about it, I've gone through the motions. So I know it's not necessarily shit. It's just the fact that they see, they're aware, but they can't help me more than they can help the next guy. You know what I'm saying? So I need to do due diligence where I get myself to a point where it just takes that cosign for me to get there, you know? But right now, I'm not at that point yet. So all it means is just I need to work, dog. Like, if you go where I'm popular, don't go where they don't know me. And you ask them, like, yo, what do you know about VenusRaps? They'll tell you, I'm out rapping niggas. I'm out rapping niggas. I'm out rapping bitches. I'm out rapping everybody, you know? But it's not a thing where people are oblivious. because they're aware. It's just a matter of they need to feel left out. So they don't feel left out yet. They feel like, yo, it could still go either way. And how they feel left out is I need to put in the work. I need to get to a point where they can see, hey, whether I co-sign this honey or not, dog, she's gone, you know?
Yeah.
Which is what a lot of people were feeling when I got onto KZN lockdown cipher. When they realized, yo, this honey is gone, they started trying to, you know?
Yeah.
But they thought I was gone. I wasn't ready to be gone. And there's been so many instances where people have been thinking. And what happens then is that they'll come, they'll co-sign, they'll realize it's not time. And I'll feel shitty because I feel like, yo, I fumbled. And it's not really my fumbling because the universe knows exactly what needs to happen when it needs to happen. And it's not up to me, but I can sure as hell push. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, no, I don't feel like I'm being slept on. I feel like these niggas know what's up, but it's just not time.
You know, it couldn't have been said any better there, actually, Venus. You know, they need to feel left out. But on the point that you were touching on about, you know, them hitting you up and then eventually ghosting you, do you not feel like there's an element of disrespect in there? Because just relating it to like something that I've experienced in the past where you'll make an arrangement with an artist on, okay, we're gonna, you know, do your interview on this day, and then come that day, they ghost. No communication whatsoever. And I understand that, you know, as human beings, we go through certain things, you know, things come up, things happen. But do you not feel that, you know, literally ghosting with no communication has an element of disrespect? Because I highly doubt that, you know, someone would ghost if, say, for example, relating it to Sludge Underground, if maybe they were to have an interview with, say, Mac G or Metro FM, and in your position, you know, I highly doubt they would ghost if you were, say, Rihanna or Cardi B or Beyonce or something. So do you not feel like there's an element of disrespect there?
You know, I've learned not to take things personally, man. Like, depression will eat you, dog. If you're gonna take everything personally, you'll stop like I've stopped rapping so many times because of that. Because I just feel like this person made me feel so small, bruh. You know? But it's not about me. It has nothing to do with me. Whatever anyone, and this is not just like in terms of the industry, whatever anyone does to me, I don't take it personally anymore. Whatever they do towards me, whatever energy they have towards me, I don't have to carry that. You know what I'm saying? I don't have to. It's your thing. It's your personal thing. And let it ride. But I'm not the forgiving type. So I'm not sure how they're going to double back. That's my only issue. Niggas have told me, see you at the top when they're mad at me. But I genuinely believe in the concept of see you at the top, you know? And not even in a malicious way, but it's like, okay, you know, it doesn't have to be beef. You know, we're still going the same direction. We'll meet up when we see each other, and it's gonna be calm. It doesn't have to be beef. So took me a while to learn that though. So
yeah, definitely something, you know, that comes with time. Now I want to round off to the points where you said that you wanted to leave the label so badly. It actually reminds me of the intro of Air, where you mentioned that, you know, the label was saying that you sound so angry and that you should consider singing more. Now, would you say that this played, you know, some sort of role in you wanting to leave so badly? I mean, was this still the same label that you were talking about here?
Very much the same one.
Okay, cool. So elaborate on that.
So initially when they signed me, right, there was interest before I had dropped anything. I think I had like one song on SoundCloud, which was ass, but they were like, yo, you know, you're really good at what you do. We should get a conversation going. I was like, yo, I don't have much out, but sure, you know. And then obviously I moved out of home, started doing music. I was homeless for a bit, couch surfing, whatever it was. And then eventually I dropped War Cry. And then Uncle Scrooge hollered at me, was like, yo, let's do the video for this thing, dog. And I was like, oh my God, I've hit the big time. And then now the problem was that, so, okay, let me go back a few steps. I like telling stories, so pardon me. So I'm in this space where I'm making this music. I really, really feel passionate about like storytelling and like boom bap and just like making songs that evoke emotion out of you.
Yeah.
And now I've gone and I've done this video with this, you know, giant of a guy. And this now has kind of set a standard for what is expected from VenusRaps, who was just Venus at the time. But this is the standard now. And I'm thinking to myself, how am I going to top this? How am I going to make this bigger? How am I going to, how am I going to do more next time? When I drop the next song, how is it going to be bigger than just a SoundCloud song? And then I went back to the guy and I said, yo, listen, you remember you guys wanted to sign me. So what's the story? And they were like, yeah, we're still down to do that. We had the talks. And obviously I need a place to live, dog. Like, I can't live like this. I can't be I can't be here this 1 week, there this other week, I just didn't feel like it was sustainable. So I hit up this guy. I'm like, yo, listen, these are my conditions. Just give me a place to live. I'll give you all the music in the world. I'll do whatever it takes, Calm, they signed me, whatever it is. Now it's time to work on, I think at the time it was to be an EP. Okay, before we get into studio, I had wanted to go in with my guys, the guys that I know make great music at the standard that I wanted to be made at, and whatever it is. I'm not saying the guys who ended up making the EP were trash. I'm just saying they had a different style, So then they come in. The label execs were sitting in for one session, and they went, "Yo, listen, dog. Hey, you're sounding really angry, dog. Like, just calm down, sing a little, do some trap."
No way.
And at the time, I hadn't really wrapped my head around how powerful it is to be versatile because I hadn't tried it, right?
Yeah.
But I also understood that I don't like sounding like this. And there was a lot that was just going on too fast. And at the same time, my condition, which was had still not been met. So at the end of it all, I think it was just like a number of factors. And I was just feeling benched. I didn't feel like my needs would be met. I felt like, because I was in studio every Wednesday for like 8-9 months, I could have had a baby in that time, but I guess not. So it was just, I just felt like there was too much, man. There was too much that wasn't going according to what I had initially been promised. But I'm not even saying like in a bad way where it's like they're at fault. I think we're both at fault, because I didn't get to a point where I was managing my expectations of what I thought they could provide for me. And they were at fault in the sense that they promised a bunch of stuff, could not deliver on that, and signed an artist that was a certain way, but didn't have kind of like an outline of a plan as to how they were going to market her.
I'm actually glad that you managed to get out of that sticky situation. Hey, what actually happened with the whole incident where they left you high and dry and they picked their church over you? Dive a bit deeper into that.
So it wasn't necessarily that they chose their church over me. It was, okay, so my manager at the label had a commitment with his church at the time, right? And he says to me, listen, I'm delegating, so I'm going to leave you in the capable hands of so-and-so, right? And so and I don't really click, because I think at the time I didn't like his personality, and so I think I didn't have the emotional maturity to deal with a person that I didn't necessarily gel with. He did what he had to do. He said to me, yo, I'm going to leave you with so-and-so. He's capable enough. He's going to get you to where you need to go. Also, I was just on like other missions. I went to a strip club that night. That's why I was stranded in Hillbrow. So it's not their fault entirely. I'll be honest.
Sheesh.
I hope my mom does not listen to this.
Sorry, Mom. Sorry. Why did you go to the strip club?
I was looking at bums, my man. What else do you do at a strip club?
Of course. Silly of me to ask. But I know that as an artist, you probably draw inspiration from, various things. So what did that experience at the strip club sort of teach you? Because I remember the conversation that I had when Mani Badu was on the show. She mentioned, working at Sumo, which I think is a nightclub as opposed to a strip club. But that's where she sort of started performing and all that there. So if anything, what did that experience at the strip club sort of teach you?
It just told me I need more money, because I like throwing money at strippers, man. That's all it did for me.
What a time to be alive. On Drew Barrymore, which is a track in the air, there's a line there, a specific line where you say, you're always talking about numbers, but who's actually listening to you? Who was that directed at? I guess you don't have to mention or drop names and such. You can just give like a background story on that.
Everyone and no one in particular. I'm kidding. Rap is a contact sport, man. No one has come up to me and like wanted to beef me, so I'm feeling a bit left out, So I want someone to beef with, so I can like throw these jabs and like all that juicy shit. But like I think it was just like because you'll go online and you'll see niggas talk about numbers, and when it's time for like a show or time for whatever. No one's actually, there's no follow through. So there are these alleged fans, but there is no actual proof that there are the fans because everything that you're referring to doesn't exist. So I think it was just proverbial at best, but there is no one in particular that I'm beefing with because niggas know not to try me.
And that is exactly, part of the reason why I don't really take social media numbers that seriously, because you'll find that there's an artist who maybe, I don't want to say they're whack or they're bad, they just maybe aren't where they should be.
Yeah.
But you'll find that they've got, say, for example, 12,000 followers. And it's sort of like, okay, cool. Would that 12,000, followers, would even a fraction of those people actually come through to see a show? Like if you had to pull off a one-man show, would, a fraction of, those people, because I'm not expecting you to have the full 12,000, capacity, but even 40% of those people, like, would they actually come through? Which is sort of a testament to how social media can be very misleading in a way, because these days you don't really know. The line is very blurry, when it comes to, something fake. What is fake and what is real?
A lot of artists see social media numbers and think, yeah, I'm popping, right? I have 3K followers, and I can guarantee you, out of that, it's like 3.8 or something. And I can guarantee you 3 whole thousands of those people don't give a fuck about what I do. They don't care that I rap or whatever. The 800, that's where my real people are at. But people go and they look at the Instagram numbers and they think, yeah, I'm really popping, I'm popping in real life. But if you were to have to sell tickets right now, would all those 12K people show up? No. Why? Because they just, a lot of it is because people want to keep tabs. That's the whole purpose of social media. I need to know what Venus is doing at all times. So social media is really just a gimmick. People love playing on the social media gimmick to kind of convince people that they're actually popping. And at best, you're an influencer, dog, because in the streets, you're not really you're not popping like that. The one person that I know for a fact whose numbers align with their listeners, align with his shows is Blackie. But, well, among others. But a lot of these people, I'm not seeing that translating into real life because, and also I will also say sometimes your social media numbers don't translate into actual real life numbers because not everyone has 100 Rand to come spend and watch you. Some people like you, but you're in Joburg, they're in Durban. So am I going to fly out to come watch you? No, it's not like I'm going to sit with you or anything, So I think social media, yes, does make the world smaller. But if you want real life interactions, it still has to be tailored to the person in order for them to want to spend their money to come and see you. Because a lot of it has to do with the fact that people are actually kind of afraid to interact with people who view themselves as celebrities or superstars or whatever, because the general experience isn't good. And I understand the fact that I'm a musician and I've come here to do this thing, but I don't necessarily want you guys touching me. I don't know any of these people like that. So I don't want them touching me. Fine, granted. But the problem with being a superstar is that, well, not the problem. The whole point of being a superstar is that you need to, being an artist is like a performance. Every single aspect of you is a performance. When I still have the green hair on, but I'm not VenusRaps. You know what I'm saying? And I want to say, yeah, fuck these niggas. No, but people tend to think that the person that you are is carried into every single aspect of what you do. But no, when you are now the rapper, put on your performance, go interact with people as whoever the hell you are. And then when you're done with that, go back, recoup, which is why I really respect Aries of not being out and about all the time, because it gives him a chance to touch grass. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It gives him a chance to kind of be aware of his surroundings, be aware of himself, be aware of the people around him, be aware of what is real and what is not. Because once you get to a point where you're always VenusRaps, you lose sight of who you actually are outside of VenusRaps, which is why it's always important. I never got this. I would always step out in places and be VenusRaps, but I have to step away from that every now and then. Take a break, go touch grass. It's very important.
That is a very good way of looking at it, in a positive sort of light. But at the same time, do you not feel like that approach, with that approach, you run the risk of having the split personality? Because you'll find that some artists, when they put on that persona, they become completely different. They become someone else. And then when they take that off, it's sort of like, they're approachable, they're a normal human being type thing. So do you not feel that, the sort of on and off type thing, with that comes, running the risk of having this sort of split personality type thing?
Yeah.
Because some artists, I can tell you now, they are the most approachable people, behind the scenes. But once they put on that sort of persona, once the artist comes in, it's sort of like they're untouchable,
Yeah.
they're a completely different person. So what's your take on that?
I think people take alter egos way too far. So number one, there should never be a point where the person you are as an artist, as a musician, as a celebrity, as whatever you do, right? Except when you're an actor, treads too far off from who you are as a person, which is why my values as Vanessa are still my values as Venus. My virtues as Vanessa, my weaknesses, my strengths, who I am as Vanessa is very much who Venus is. However, the reason why I had to go, okay, there needs to be an alter ego is because there's things that Vanessa can't do and say or can't be that Venus absolutely can and doesn't give a fuck about it, right? So I think the purpose for me anyway, the purpose of an alter ego is to empower you. It's to kind of dispel the fear of judgment or the fear of this or the fear of that, and just like uksaba, But I don't think your alter ego should be an entirely different person. So I just think everything that VenusRaps is everything that Vanessa is, internally, externally, like all the dreams and aspirations I have as a human being, I have as a rapper. As a human being, I want Imani. As a rapper, I want Imani. As a human being, I am respectful towards people. As a rapper, I'm respectful towards people, except my ops. But you get it. Like your alter ego can't have values that you don't possess at the very foundation or the fundamental point of who you are.
Yeah, no, that couldn't have been said any better. It makes a lot of sense with the way that you've explained it, Venus. Now, still on your lines, there's another line where you say, within your tape that, niggas bite your shit and then they chew. So have you had an experience?
Rappers bite my shit and then they chew.
Yeah.
Y'all got sticky fingers like a boo. Man, y'all niggas jacking like you Hugh.
That jack line. Incredible. So have you been in a situation where an artist bit your lines?
I'm not even gonna lie, right? A lot of I run the risk of being a bit problematic by saying this, but
say it.
I'm gonna say it anyway. And this is not just like women only. Like niggas do the same thing. Like a lot of people bite like things that I've been doing for years, and maybe it's like coincidental, but I think it happens too often for it to be a coincidence anymore. So yeah, man, a lot of people bite my shit. Like, I'm not even gonna name names, but like, there's so much of my shit that's out there. Like, I'll give you a tiny example, right? Green is the color of the season now, so I get it now, right? However, what I do know is that if you look at the girlies, suddenly they're doing green hair, suddenly, and I don't want to sound like Nicki Minaj or nothing and go, yeah, you just biting my shit. But like, where, whomst, when did doing green hair and having your entire persona kind of centered around this color become a thing? Because I was like, the first time I had green hair was like 2017. And since then, I have not had any other hair color. Maybe when I get a 9 to 5, I'll do a bit of black. But if they allow me to get some green in my hair, I'm getting green, bitch, the fuck. So I think the reason why I was saying rappers bite my shit and then they chew is because I was just feeling like, man, a lot of people feel that because they're more popular or whatever, they see things, get an idea, because I know that no idea in the universe is an original idea because something inspires you. But my thing is just that, like, if you see something that someone in your similar field is pushing and they're trying to make that their entire, brand, I just feel like it's a bit unfair, man, to just go and hop on that thing and then go, yeah, this is my thing because you're more popping. It's not fair. People are seeing things too much and going, oh, I could make that. I could do that. I could make that happen. But I'm always going to be a step ahead, because every single time you need inspiration to go and make that thing that you took from me bigger, you need to come back on my page and you need to see what I'm doing. You need to come back on my page and you need to see, oh, she's not doing box braids anymore. Straight back, oh, she's not dyeing her entire head green and like doing green braids anymore. She's doing only like skunk stripes now. So okay, that's what we do. Like that's my thing. Like if you're biting my shit, and I don't mean anyone's biting my shit right now. I'm just saying.
Disclaimer.
A disclaimer fit. But if you're biting, dog, you're always going to be a million steps back, because every single time you have to come up with something new, you can't innovate that. You can't be innovative about it. You have to go back and look at the source of your inspiration. So every single time when I feel to, okay, you know what, let me conceptual. And I get it. Not everyone is a conceptual person, or like a person who is able to take one thing, take another thing, and then just merge it into something that's like insanely amazing and insanely gripping. But believe in yourself, man. I'm gonna tell you that much, because personally, I've never had the money to be able to do half the stuff that I want to do. I've never had the backing to be able to do half the stuff I want to do. But with whatever I have, I move, because I know for a fact that whether you have green hair like me, or whether you rap like me, your ghostwriter writes for you to rap like me, or I'm kidding, oh my God. But whatever it is that might be similar to me that you might have or you might do, it still doesn't make you me. Because I can guarantee you, where you are, where I am, two different things. The struggles you face, the struggles I face, two different things. Every single thing about you takes you to a completely different path than where it takes me. So in as much as like I did say that line, I'm not mad about it. I'm saucy as hell, dog. Like everybody, like you'd be crazy to look at me and go, yeah, I don't want to try that. You know? Okay, maybe except for the face tag, but like, but I'm saucy as hell. If you look at me, you're like, wow, 2 nose rings. God damn, I need to try it. You look at me, you go, green hair. Let me try it. You look at me, you go, oh, you know, whatever it is. Oh, the leather jacket, leather coat. I need to do it. You know, dressed like the Matrix. You want to try it, because that's the whole point of being a brand. And this is not even to say like I'm like a big brand or whatever, but even at the tiniest scale of me doing what I do, someone somewhere out there has looked at it and gone, yo, fuck, why didn't I think of that? You know why? Because my mind is insane, dog. But let me ask you something. Can someone do the same for you? No, because you're a biter. So that's just like the power of it. The power of it is that I know for a fact the things I'm thinking of right now, the things I'm thinking of doing right now, the things I'm conceptualizing right now, planning right now, people are going to see that and go, fuck, I should have done it. If you look at the artwork for A, I had to kind of take that and put that together myself, because I didn't have the backing to say, oh yeah, I'm going to go to a river and put my face in the water. And I had to do that at my nigga's pool. Call Cindy to, actually, I put out a call and Cindy was like, yo, I'd like to shoot you. And we got it done. But like that was inspired as well. But no one did it like me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? No one had the hair and the reflection and no one had it like me. And that's the whole purpose of like, when you're inspired, you follow through, yes, but you put a bit of yourself in it. And that's the whole point of like, or the distinction between being a person who bites and a person who is inspired and then innovates with a bit of themselves in it.
Yeah, I totally relate to that, because, we've had countless people come through, who trashed Sludge Underground when it first began. Next thing, they're doing podcasts as well. We've had people that have said, it's not about who did it first, it's about who did it right, but their platforms aren't even a thing anymore. And I think this just goes to serve as an indicator that it's not enough to sort of, want to one-up someone else. This mentality of, I can do better than what you're doing, or this mentality of, trying to bite, what someone else is doing. It just doesn't seem to be, strong enough to keep you going, even through the rainy days. I mean, when you're playing the long game, even on the rainy days, you have to push yourself. And I just feel like, with the results and how things often pan out for people who have that sort of mentality, it just doesn't seem like it's enough to get you going, all the way.
Like, can you imagine you wanna go do a song? Let's say, for an example, the person who inspires you is Nasty C, right?
Yeah.
Because I'm very heavily inspired by him sometimes. Well, in that one song that I actually did drop, because all the others did not drop. But imagine if I based my entire persona on like, I love Nasty C, so I'm gonna bite everything that he does and just like twist it up. Imagine when he doesn't drop for 3 years, what would happen to me? I wouldn't drop. Like and in fact, fuck dropping. I wouldn't make music. I wouldn't get good at music. God made us like a superior species, dog. Can you imagine being the king of all the animals, all king of the land, dog? And you still want to bite, dog. This is de-evolution. Is that what it's called? De-evolution. Stop biting, guys, please.
And you heard it here first on Sludge Underground podcast. Don't you ever say VenusRaps did not tell you. Now, looking at plans for the rest of 2022, what's coming up for VenusRaps?
What is coming up for me this year? So first things first, I always hate disclosing my plans because my ops check out everything I do. So they're gonna evil eye me there. But it is what it is. Okay, this year I'm doing kind of like a live session that's going to be recorded, and obviously I'm going to be performing some of my songs that I like, not the stuff that I hate, just the stuff that I personally love and is my favorite. And then after that, I should be dropping a single. I'm not sure who's going to be on the single yet. I don't even know what it's going to be called. I don't have the beat yet, but it's coming. And then after that, I should drop an EP. I don't like dropping a lot. My discography is just like one song every 2 years, one thing every year, whatever. But like, I'm not a person who drops consistently because I need to actually live life in order to have things to make music about. So this year, I want to change that. I want to be like you rappers who rap about nothing at all.
Shots fired. Venus, I want to thank you so much for joining me on the show. It's been such an awesome, experience learning about you and listening to all your stories. It's been phenomenal. It's been incredible. So anyone who wants to reach out to you and maybe listen to your music or reach out on social media, what are your handles for them real quick?
It's VenusRaps on Insta and Twitter, and I think on Facebook as well. But yeah, that's where you can reach me. Mostly Insta because I'm not on Twitter. I still, at my big age, do not understand how Twitter works. So yeah, like just Insta really. Just follow me on my Insta because I'm trying to be a micro-influencer now so that I can get that bag and spend it on making videos because I don't have videos, guys. Please go follow me. Thanks. Bye.
Before I let you go, tell me about your face tat real quick. Have there been any repercussions?
Nah, let me tell you. So my face tat, it's just like a little butterfly, just like a little cute something. But the reason I got my face tat is because, so I was working this job, when was it? And I think like October to December. And so the whole thing about this job was like, it was a really good job and I'm really good at my jobs. So this was one of those jobs that I was looking forward to. I'm like, yo, as soon as I go permanent here, I am good, I'm set. I can always have a place to stay. I can make enough money to kind of, save up, get a house. I can make enough money to have videos. I can make enough money to kind of like, to eventually bring all my visions, like all the visuals I've ever wanted to do, all the concepts I've ever wanted to implement or like, bring to life. I can finally do that. When I tell you, I was working my ass off, getting there at 7 a.m. in the morning, having to knock off at 3, but never knocking off at 3, going all the way until 8 p.m., working, dog. And these motherfuckers came to me and they said, we just feel like you're not passionate about sales, so we're not renewing your contract. I'm killing the numbers, dog. I'm shaming guys who have been there for like 6 weeks, 10 weeks, whatever. Niggas who've been at it, I'm shaming them. I'm knocking them off the scoreboard. I'm making like 7 sales in one day where the target is like 2, 3. I'm shitting on these niggas, dog. And these motherfuckers came to me and said, we're not renewing your contract. When I tell you that was the biggest spiral I've ever had in my life. As soon as I left after they told me, because also you remember I did tell you I'm cancer, so I cry about everything. So I cried on my way to my house. I cried. I'm walking there because my house was like a walk away from my job. So I was like crying, like I moved for these motherfuckers to tell me this shit. Oh my God, I can't believe it. I'm crying. And then I get to my house and I'm still crying. And I go, wait, hold on. I just got paid, didn't I? So let me get myself a bottle of wine, drinkity, and then go get a face tat. Because also I had been planning the face tat, but I was actually going to do it on the Friday and not on the Thursday. But now I was out on the Thursday and I was like, yo, I'm fucked anyway. I might as well go do this thing for real. And then this guy did the tat and the studio was empty. It was so funny because no one wanted to do the face tat. Like I had told the girl, the lady at the reception that I wanted to do a face tat and they'd quoted me and whatever. But no one else, no other artist wanted to do it because they felt like I was probably going to regret it. Until this day, it's my favorite tattoo. Like, okay, apart from the one I got last week, but like this one, the face tat, like it's been my favorite one. I've regretted like all my other tattoos. There's been a stage where I'm like, maybe I shouldn't have gotten that, you know? But my face tat is the first one that I knew exactly what I was doing, even though I was spiraling. I knew exactly what I was doing. I made a great choice. I like it. I think I'm probably going to get another one on my left side of my face.
How did your mom feel? Was she happy about it?
So I lied to her initially and I told her I'd get it like by my ear.
Sneaky.
And when I came and she saw me, she was like, oh, it's actually cute.
Yo, that's wild.
But that's like the whole story with my mom. Every time I mutilate my body, she just goes, oh, this is really cute. You look like an artist every single time. So recently I got a tattoo last week on my hand and I was like, aren't you pissed off? Like I just came home with a whole new tattoo, didn't tell you nothing. She's like, well, what am I going to do? It's your body. So yeah, it is what it is for her, I guess.
Hey, shout out to mom one time. You know, you're very brave to have gotten that face tat, Venus. You know, I could never. So yeah, I think it's in line with how hardcore you are with the bars. But yeah, speaking of bars, which track of yours are we closing out with today?
I think 11:11. I think 11:11 has always been my favorite because 11:11 is at the end, so it takes you through like what's next. You know, so it's kind of like a manifestation. So let's play just to manifest all the goodness and the accolades and the awards and the money and the you know. Let's get it.
Aware that is epic. If you've been listening, you know, till now, thank you for tuning into this episode. It's been myself and VenusRaps. Be sure to check out all things Sludge Underground on our website. It's www.sludgeunderground.com. That's where all things that are sludge related are basically available. Don't forget to check out our brand new merch line as well. Very limited stock. It's 100% cotton hand-dyed garments. So I'll be leaving a link, you know, to our casualsex.store in the description of this episode. It's one of the ways that you can support the show and get it to keep going. Another way that you can support is by leaving a review on Apple Podcasts and also a rating on Spotify. Don't forget to tune into next week's episode as well, because Marcel will be chatting to Llewellyn Screen. It's going to be a very epic episode, and we're about to close out now with 11:11 by VenusRaps featuring Rhea Black. From myself and Venus, it is bye for now.
I can't believe we really made it, I'm partly surprised. Remember when the boys and I would talk about the rise all night while putting in the work we knew would change our lives. Back when I really coveted expensive Gucci slides. It's crazy how we up now, our enemies' demise. Jumped over all the hurdles that our enemies devised. We kept the faith in God, though we kept on getting tried. And now the revolution can't help but be televised. Remember when the biggest problem to me was the roof. Remember when all I had going for me was the booth. Remember when my corner was just TKITQ. Why they carried me, them niggas had no reason to. I write this in the past tense like I'm really looking back, cause I don't see my future being worse off than my past. They'll ask me why I wrote this when my life wasn't the best. 11:11, my nigga, let me manifest.
Yeah, I go with the flow, it's a movement. Yeah, my soul is a goal, I'm not human. I've been planning on how to do this. Take my songs and making them just the music, yeah, I manifest. Telling myself that I only want the best. Leave it to God and release my stress. We gon' touch the sky and have no regrets.
Yeah.
Yeah, I manifest. Yeah, I manifest.
I'm manifesting all the awards, the accolades. I manifest not having remorse cause I'm the best. I'm manifesting Ferrari horses and a jet. The devil gon' stay choking cause my God will interject. I'm manifesting peace in my life, love with no end. My niggas having girls that gon' hold them down till the end. I'm manifesting houses and cars, maybe a pen. And most of all to keep on getting better with the pen. I'm manifesting billionaire status, surely more. To stay hungry and chasing even when I'm at the top. For life to never have me put my head into a rope. To always have something I'm grateful for during a toast. I'm manifesting health in my body, wealth in my soul. I pray I buy my mother a Porsche when she 44. Lord Jesus, please don't ever let them niggas with me fold. And do with me whatever gon' benefit us before, yeah.
Yeah, I go with the flow, it's a movement. Yeah, my soul is a goal, I'm not human. I've been planning on how to do this. Take my manifest.